Welcome to another Jamie Tries video, and I've got my pen this time for a drawing video. Thank you to those who last time commented that they couldn't see the drawing on the paper. Definitely noted, so I've got all my pens here, and hopefully this time you can see it. I've got an extra angle too, to hopefully make it more visible. Last time it was drawing from memory. This time we're going to do something slightly different. I'm just going to draw from my mind, and we've got a list of things. I haven't selected these, my wife did. So the first one, it's just written down as dog. So that is definitely open to interpretation. I should note, I'm not a professional artist. I am simply just a beginner, although I have been drawing for a long time. Now in my head, a dog, growing up I had little dogs like Chihuahuas in the house. So whenever someone says draw a dog, it's always a Chihuahua that comes to mind. Now it's something like that. I haven't seen a Chihuahua for a little while, so let's do this. Kind of looks like a fox. I think the head might be slightly too... There we are. He looks like he's wearing a hat now. So let's make that like that. I was just about to give him a smiley face. So that's kind of a dog. And then the body is always something I struggle with, because now it looks like a chicken. Looks like a chicken. Let's just go with it. I'm doing sort of a doodly type thing. Give him little feet, maybe little sandals, something like that. Should we give him a hat? Give him a top hat. give him a top hat. I was about to say that he doesn't have arms, but of course he doesn't have arms. It's a dog. It kind of looks like he's got 2 feet, so I guess I need to just draw at the back there. I don't know. Give him extra legs. Accentuate. I'm not a Tony Hart. Not a Tony Hart. I'm not sure what that is. Some kind of fur. Let's try colouring this in, shall we? So I've got a very limited palette of colours. So let's go with orange. Because why not? Be no depth whatsoever. I'll have a go in a minute. In fact, I'll leave his head, because while I've still got time, or as Tony Hart used to say, while I've still got time, I will, he never used to say that, I just wanted to do the accent. Yeah, let's try and draw a different type of dog, because I could imagine if you're a Labrador fan, a Chihuahua isn't good enough for you. So let's or it doesn't correspond. Now, it's been a while since I saw a Labrador. Now, they have sort of, can we do something like that? Ooh. I'm sorry, I'm mildly impressed with that. Not an artist. Why couldn't I have just drawn Snoopy? I mean, that would have been, let's give him eyebrows. I mean, his eyes are not big enough, are they, really? But let's... Now he looks like a duck. Yeah, let's give that up. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Is that acceptable as a dog? Shall we just call that the dog and be done with it? Shall I finish this off first? Yeah, let's finish this off. Let's just make him orange. I'd love to see your drawings of a dog, by the way, if you're indeed joining in a Bob Ross type fashion. Hopefully yours is better than mine though. I would love to see that. Let's bring this top hat to life, shall we? And I can get the lid off the pen. There we are. Dog wearing a top hat. Not part of the brief, but it's for lols, isn't it? Oops, permanent marker. Okay, I'm going to say that's it. And in typical Bob Ross fashion, I'm going to sign it. So let's just do that. Let's just do that. One dog. So the next one on the agenda is very simply put as apple. And I've been asked to make it a lot bigger on the page so that it's visually pleasing. Not sure that me and visually pleasing should go in the same sentence. So let's try something really simple. Like that. It's like a heart shape, isn't it? And then there's like a little thing at the bottom. Looks good enough for Snow White. Let's do the little thing there. Because they always draw apples, don't they, with like a little leaf at the top, which is, you know, I don't think I've ever seen one like that, but there we are. Shall I just, there we go. We'll do that just to accentuate the curves, perhaps. Accentuate the curves, he said in a Victor Meldrew style voice. Right. Now what kind of apple is this? I don't know too much about apples, if I'm honest with you. I know Granny Smith is an apple. Yeah. Okay, that is not the colour I thought it was. I made a right hash there. That's almost, although if it had already been done, if I'd done that before that, it wouldn't seem quite so outrageous, would it? But, oh well. Does anyone have any tips for like colouring really quickly? I mean, I know as a kid I used to do this quite a lot. And I'm not quite sure why. I think I just thought it looked cool. It was like, oh, circles, you know. But I do it in like pencil. Which is really odd, I know. But I used to think it was cool, almost artistic in a way. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to resurrect 12-year-old Jamie's guide to art. Just do some circles like this. Let's do that. Let's draw a little arrow. I apologise to the question setter if that was a future task, but let's just... What is that? That's not an arrow anyway. It's pointing down here. Oh well, let's... There we go. Let's just draw a little apple down here. It looks more like an orange. Let me do the little thing again. Not consistent. One apple. Let's go on to the third and final. Once we've ripped out, a little bit of behind the scenes for you. I just rip it out and put it on the floor. They do get put somewhere else later, probably the recycling bin. I don't think it's going in a frame on the wall. Let's try the third one, which is simply camera. Camera, C-A-M-E-R-A, camera. Right, depends what kind of camera, doesn't it? Because obviously I've got the cameras on the phones. I mean, I could be cheeky. I've also got video camera, which is what I used to film my videos on. And for you tech geeks out there, I'll look for that later, a piece has fallen out the bottom of the camera I normally use. So we're using mobiles today. Hopefully it doesn't look rubbish, and I'm going to try and fix that. And we'll invest in a camera in the future. Do I want to draw one like that? Probably not. I'm thinking more like an old kind of box camera. So we'll try and draw a straight line like that. Oh, lovely. And then another straight line. Oh, right angles. And then another straight line like this, and then another straight line, and that makes a rectangle. Yeah, rectangle. And then the way I used to do it, I used to do artwork on the computer, and the way I used to make a square of some kind was like this. So you draw lines out like that, and you create almost a three-dimensional effect. So you create that. I realise that cameras these days aren't quite this boxy, but I'm going within my capability. Because I'm a 90s kid, well, 90s, growing up in the 90s as opposed to born in the 80s. So am I an 80s kid or a 90s kid? You'll have to tell me. It's different for different people, isn't it? It depends what point you're trying to prove. So let's go with the viewfinder. Let's go with the old viewfinder. There we are. And then we'll just draw a, so I'm thinking of like an old school thing. So let's draw a lens, and then another lens. So I'm thinking of like an old school like analog camera with film. I mean, it kind of looks like a washing machine at this point. I need to put it on some kind of cycle, I guess. So yeah, let's give it a, let's give it like a little handy thing like that, little strap. I mean, how would you approach this differently? I would love to know. Let's put an old school flash on the top. I mean, that's awful, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. So other than this, I'm really not sure where to go with this, because I certainly won't really be colouring it in. I mean, it's extremely basic. In fact, why don't we, just for lulz, put another circle there so it looks even more like a washing machine or some kind of portal. Ooh! Oh dear. No, let's go circles again. Let's go circles. Patented Jamie Dyer technique. Circles. Do you prefer drawing with pens as opposed to pencils? I think I prefer pencils, because the thing that annoys me about pen is when you go to colour, obviously, you get that really darkened vibe to it that doesn't feel very good, you know? And it doesn't look great either, so you have to be very careful with it. Whereas with pencil, I feel like there's a little bit more nuance there. Listen to me using words like nuance. We'll just say this is like a, you know, an artistic renaissance type thing. I don't know. I'm not even going to finish colouring that. Maybe the best I can do at this point is just give the strap up here. Oh, we've almost got like a cartoony vibe. I mean, the thing about this video is I always wanted to be a cartoonist of some kind, or an animator, certainly in stop frame, you know, mainly Aardman type stuff, and the work of Oliver Postgate and Peter Firmin, that type of thing. And Ivor Wood as well, who created all kinds of things. But yeah, I always wanted to be in that industry. I also had a great fondness for cartoonists, the work of Disney, Walter Lantz, even a little bit of the Fleischers, although wasn't a huge fan of the Superman cartoons, you know, the ones that are rotoscoped. Although, to be fair, if I was to do that kind of thing, rotoscoped is probably the technique I would choose, because certainly from a layman's point of view, it sounds pretty easy, even though it probably isn't. Let's draw like a little version of a camera. Like that, kind of just looks like a flag. Let's just make it into a flag, shall we? Yeah, and then draw somebody taking a little stick person taking a picture of the flag. Or are they filming it? Yes, probably filming it. Let's do that. Let's do that. Try it yourself. Actually, don't. No, please do try it yourself on this thing. Little Neil Buchanan reference there. Should probably go back to the Tony Hart. It feels more befitting and less weird, I guess. I don't know. Who did you grow up on? I mean, you, the viewer watching, did you watch Tony Hart growing up? Were you a fan of Neil Buchanan, or the guys who used to do Smart in the 90s? That was a pretty good show, wasn't it? I'm not sure who the US equivalent is. The only US artist I'm really aware of in television terms is Bob Ross, obviously. I can't think of anybody else. But who did you grow up? I'm sure there must have been a drawing thing on PBS or something like that. I'd love to hear your stories. In typical Jamie Tries fashion, have you tried this before? And how did you do? Let me know by hashtag Jamie Tries Drawing or in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please do rate, comment and subscribe.